There are moments in life when everything feels like it's falling apart. A door you desperately wanted to open remains shut. A relationship you thought would last suddenly ends. A hardship you never expected shakes your entire world. And in those moments, you ask yourself, why is this happening to me? But what if I told you, it's not just a coincidence? What if this is a direct message from Allah, a sign that He is guiding you, redirecting you, or even protecting you from something unseen? Allah doesn't speak to us the way humans do. His signs are subtle yet powerful. Some people see them, reflect, and change their lives. Others ignore them and walk straight into their downfall. The question is, will you recognize the sign before it's too late? In this video, we'll uncover the unmistakable signs from Allah that you simply cannot ignore, the ones that could change your life forever. But before we begin, ask yourself, have I ever felt like something was trying to warn me, but I didn't listen? Allah's guidance is not always loud or obvious. He doesn't send direct letters or speak to us in ways we might expect. Instead, His messages come through signs, subtle yet deeply meaningful events that shape our lives. Think about it. Have you ever experienced a moment where everything seemed to go wrong, only to realize later that it was actually leading you to something better? Or perhaps you felt a strange pull towards change, towards leaving a sin, towards improving your prayers, or towards seeking knowledge without fully understanding why. These are not coincidences. They are signs from Allah, gently guiding your soul toward the path you are meant to walk. The problem is most people overlook them. They dismiss them as a just life, unaware that Allah is speaking to them through their experiences. Allah tells us in the Quran, and we will show them our signs in the horizons and within themselves until it becomes clear to them that it is the truth. Surah Fussilat 41:53. This means that the signs are always there, in your struggles, your losses, your blessings, and even in your unanswered prayers. The real question is, are you paying attention? During the time of the Prophet Muhammad, there was a man who lived in Mecca, a man who had all the signs of truth right in front of him, yet he refused to see them. His name was Umayyah ibn Khalaf, a wealthy leader of the Quraysh and one of the fiercest opponents of Islam. Umayyah had witnessed the miracles of the Prophet Lefty. He had seen how the Quran, with its unmatched wisdom, moved even the hardest hearts. He had heard the Prophet's Lefty words, warning about the consequences of disbelief. He even saw how those who accepted Islam, like Bilal ibn Rabah, endured torture but never wavered in their faith. Yet despite all these signs, he ignored them. He dismissed the Quran as poetry, mocked the Prophet literally, and chose his pride over the truth. He was given countless chances to turn back, but his arrogance blinded him. But here's the most powerful part of his story. When the Battle of Badr arrived, Umayyah had a moment of hesitation. He had a strange feeling that something bad was going to happen to him. He even tried to avoid going to battle. Yet, his friend Abu Jahl convinced him, saying, "You are a leader of Quraysh. You cannot stay behind." And so, despite the clear signs, Umayyah ignored the warning in his heart, and he was among those who perished in Badr. This story is not just about Umayyah. It's a warning for all of us. How many times have we felt an inner pull towards the right path, yet ignored it? How often do we recognize a sign from Allah, but allow our ego, our surroundings, or our fears to push us away from it? Allah shows us signs in different ways, through hardships, through unexpected events, through that small voice in our heart telling us to change. But if we keep ignoring them, we risk sealing our fate, just like Umayyah did. Indeed, it is not the eyes that are blind, but the hearts in the chest that go blind. Surah Al-Hajj 22:46. So ask yourself, have you been ignoring a sign from Allah? And more importantly, will you answer it before it's too late? Sometimes you desperately want something, a job, a relationship, a dream, but no matter how hard you try, it keeps slipping away. You pray, you struggle, you do everything right, yet the door remains closed. And in that moment, it feels like a punishment. But what if I told you it's actually a blessing? There's a powerful story from the life of Prophet Musa. When he fled from Egypt after accidentally killing a man, he was lost, alone, and had no idea where to go. Every familiar path was blocked. The life he once had was gone. But in that moment of uncertainty, Allah was redirecting him towards something far greater. Musa ended up in Midian, where he helped 2 women at a well. That single act of kindness led to him finding a home, getting married, and most importantly, his journey toward prophethood began. Imagine if Musa had never left Egypt. Imagine if the doors he once knew had remained open. He wouldn't have met Allah at the burning bush. He wouldn't have led Bani Israel to freedom. What looked like a setback was actually a setup for something greater. The same applies to you. When Allah blocks your path, He is protecting you from something you cannot see. Maybe that job would have led you away from your faith. Maybe that relationship would have broken you. Maybe that delay is placing you exactly where you need to be for something much greater. Perhaps you hate something and it is good for you, and perhaps you love something and it is bad for you. Allah knows, while you do not. Surah Al-Baqarah 2, 216. So the next time a door closes, instead of asking, why me? Ask, what is Allah trying to teach? Because sometimes the blessing isn't in what He gives, it's in what He takes away. Have you ever felt an unexplainable emptiness, even when everything in life seems fine? A deep longing, a restlessness that refuses to go away? You try to fill it with success, with relationships, with entertainment, but nothing truly satisfies. That feeling isn't random, it's a sign. The Prophet Letter T once said, there is a piece of flesh in the body. If it is sound, the whole body is sound. And if it is corrupt, the whole body is corrupt. Verily, it is the heart. Sahih Bukhari 52. A restless heart is often a call from Allah. It's His way of telling you, you are meant for more. Take the story of Salman al-Farsi, Ra. He was born into wealth and luxury in Persia, yet something inside him felt unsettled. He couldn't ignore the feeling that he was missing the truth. That restlessness pushed him on a journey, leaving behind his home, his wealth, and everything he knew until he finally found Islam. What if he had ignored that feeling? That same restlessness you feel is an invitation from Allah. It's a sign that your soul is searching for something greater, something beyond this world. The question is, will you listen? Sometimes life shakes you in ways you never expected. A sudden loss, a betrayal, a door that slams shut when you least expect it. At that moment, it feels like everything is falling apart. But what if it's actually a wake-up call from Allah? There was a man during the time of the Prophet Letrofte who lived in heedlessness. He had everything, wealth, status, comfort, but he felt untouchable. Until one day, he lost everything in a single moment. His business collapsed, his family turned away, and he was left alone. Desperate and broken, he came to the Prophet Letrofte and asked, why is this happening to me? The Prophet responded with a reminder, when Allah wants good for someone, He tests them. Sahih Bukhari, sometimes the hardest moments in life aren't punishments, they're divine alarms. Allah shakes your world not to break you, but to wake you. Think about it. How many people only turn to Allah when everything else is stripped away? If you're facing hardship, don't see it as just a problem. See it as a sign, a reminder that Allah is calling you back. The real question is, will you answer? Will you answer? Sometimes life shakes you in ways you never expected. A sudden loss, a betrayal, a door that slams shut when you least expect it. At that moment, it feels like everything is falling apart. But what if it's actually a wake-up call from Allah? There was a man during the time of the Prophet Letrofte who lived in heedlessness. He had everything, wealth, status, comfort, but he felt untouchable. Until one day, he lost everything in a single moment. His business collapsed, his family turned away, and he was left alone. Desperate and broken, he came to the Prophet Letrofte and asked, why is this happening to me? The Prophet Letrofte responded with a reminder, when Allah wants good for someone, He tests them. Thus, Sahih Bukhari, sometimes the hardest moments in life aren't punishments, they're divine alarms. Allah shakes your world not to break you, but to wake you. Think about it. How many people only turn to Allah when everything else is stripped away? If you're facing hardship, don't see it as just a problem. See it as a sign, a reminder that Allah is calling you back. The real question is, will you answer? You said the ultimate choice, ChatGPT said. Conclusion, the ultimate choice. At the end of the day, every sign from Allah is a message, a call to return, to reflect, to realign your heart with your purpose. Some people recognize these signs and change their lives. Others ignore them and continue down a path of heedlessness. The choice is always yours. Will you turn back to Allah, or will you wait until it's too late? The Prophet Letrofte said, take advantage of 5 before 5, your youth before your old age, your health before your sickness, your wealth before your poverty, your free time before your busyness, and your life before your death. Termini, right now, you're being given an opportunity, a chance to listen, to reflect, and to act. Don't let this be just another reminder that fades away. If you feel Allah is calling you, answer Him. Strengthen your connection, seek knowledge, and turn to Him before life passes you by. Because in the end, nothing matters more than your relationship with your Creator.